If you are thinking about adding an ADU in Tampa, Florida, this video could save you a lot of time, money, and stress. Because here is the truth. In Tampa, the hard part is usually not just designing a pretty small home. The hard part is designing an ADU that actually works on your lot, with your zoning, with your flood risk, with your parking, and with the way people will really live in that space. So in this video, I want to walk you through the biggest challenges homeowners run into when they try to design an ADU in Tampa, and what you should think about before you pay for plans, apply for permits, or start building. My name is Juan N Castro Jr. with Coldwell Banker Realty, and if you are thinking about adding an ADU and want help looking at the real-world value, fit, and resale side of it, book a consult. Let's get into it. First, let's make sure we're on the same page. An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. That can be a backyard cottage, a garage apartment, or a unit that is part of the main property but has its own entrance and full living area. A lot of homeowners look at ADUs and think, this is simple, it is small, it should be easy. But in Tampa, small does not always mean simple. This is the first big issue. A lot of people start with the design before they start with the site. And that is backwards. Before you think about bedroom count, roof shape, or finishes, you need to know if your property is actually in an area where an ADU can be approved and what standards apply there. This matters because two homes in Tampa can look similar, but the ADU rules may not be the same. One property may have a path to an ADU. Another property may run into limits based on location or neighborhood standards. So the first design challenge is not really design, it is eligibility. This is where many homeowners get surprised. They picture a nice detached backyard unit, maybe 800 or 900 square feet, maybe one bedroom plus an office, maybe something above a garage. But then setbacks, lot shape, separation, and access start shrinking what is actually possible. That means the challenge is not just, can I fit an ADU? The challenge is, can I fit the kind of ADU I want without creating a weird layout, losing too much yard, or making access awkward? A design that works on paper may feel cramped in real life if the front door is hard to reach. Windows stare straight into the main house. There is no useful outdoor space. The parking solution feels forced. Or the ADU is technically allowed, but functionally bad. A working ADU is not just one that fits the code. It is one that fits the site in a way that still feels comfortable and private. This is one of the biggest Tampa-specific issues. Floodplain design is not just a permit detail. It can shape the entire project. Your ADU may need to be raised, and when you raise a small home, a lot of other design choices change too. Now you may be dealing with stairs, landing space, accessibility concerns, a different look from the main home, higher construction cost, and a harder time making the structure feel natural in the yard. A lot of people do not think about parking until late in the process. But parking can become one of the hardest parts of the whole design. Because now you are asking, where does that parking go? Does it block the main home? Does it take away outdoor space? Does it create a bad driveway setup? Does it force people to walk through areas that do not feel private? A smart ADU design in Tampa has to think through circulation. Not just the structure, but how cars move, how people walk, and how the property feels when both units are in use. A lot of homeowners say they want an ADU for family, guests, aging parents, or rental income. But then they forget one key thing. People need privacy. And privacy goes both ways. The main house needs privacy. The ADU needs privacy too. So you have to think about where windows face, where doors face, how outdoor areas are divided, where noise travels, and whether the ADU feels like a real home or just an afterthought in the backyard. This part is not sexy, but it matters. Water, sewer, Power, drainage. This becomes a design issue because utility runs affect where the ADU should go. The farther the unit is from the tie-in points, the more complicated the job may become. And in some yards, the best looking location is not the best utility location. So homeowners need to think about more than appearance. They need to think about buildability. This is where the smartest homeowners separate themselves. They stop asking only, can I build an ADU? And they start asking, what kind of ADU will actually serve my goal? Because the right design is different if the ADU is for an aging parent, an adult child, a long-term guest, future flexibility, or resale value. So the design has to match the likely use. This is why a working Tampa ADU is part zoning problem, part design problem, and part lifestyle problem. A lot of homeowners assume detached is best. Sometimes it is, but not always. For some properties, the better answer may be converting space over a garage, reworking part of the main structure, or creating a more integrated layout instead of a fully detached backyard cottage. Because the detached version may lose too much yard, create harder utility runs, or become too expensive once flood and site work are added. So another major challenge in Tampa is choosing the right ADU type for the property. Not the trendiest type, the right type. This is where people burn money. They fall in love with a plan online. Then they learn the setbacks do not work. The height does not work. The flood elevation changes the whole front entry. The parking is unresolved, or the lot circulation is a mess. Now they are paying to redesign. That is why Tampa homeowners should start with site strategy first, then design, not the other way around. A good Tampa ADU design usually does 5 things well. Number 1, it respects the site first. Number 2, it solves privacy for both homes. Number 3, it handles parking and access in a clean way. Number 4, it plans early for flood and utility realities. And number 5, it matches the real reason the homeowner is building it. That is the difference between an ADU that just gets approved and an ADU that truly works. So if you are a homeowner in Tampa and you are thinking about adding an ADU, here is the big takeaway. Do not start with the dream picture. Start with the lot. Start with the rules. Start with the flood map. Start with access. Start with parking. Start with how the space will actually be used. Because in Tampa, the challenge is not just designing an ADU. It is designing an ADU that works with the property, works with the city, and works for real life. If you want help thinking through whether an ADU makes sense for your property, your goals, and your long-term value, my name is Juan N Castro Jr. with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I would be happy to help. Book a consult if you want to talk through your property and the next steps. And if this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a homeowner who is thinking about building in Tampa. See you in the next video.